Hey Knights! Okay, so this is another reading. This is chapter 19 and 20. Alrighty, so chapter 19, recaps. Jessie left the two in the console room and headed down the hallway towards where she thought the infirmary was. When she made it inside, she headed over to the sink and pulled her hair away from her neck. She hissed when she saw the welts forming from where Margaret had gotten her. She turned the knob on the sink and looked around for a towel. She looked over over her shoulder when she heard footsteps, then smiled as the doctor walked in. "I figured you'd be in here," he told her, walking over to her. "How are you doing?" "I've had worse," she replied briefly, picking up one of the towels and turning on the faucet. "Lots worse. Hold up your hair." She complied, pulling her hair away from her neck. The doctor took the wet towel from her and began gently dab at the welts, apologizing when she hissed in pain. "We never do seem to have the best of luck in Cardiff, do we?" She grinned. "No, we don't," she admitted, relaxing a little as he worked on her neck. "At least it was the Slovene and not the Guelph." "There is that," the doctor agreed, putting the towel down and walking over to one of the cabinets. "Take a seat." Jessie plopped down obediently, pulling her legs up underneath her. It was modern day, at least, too. Not much you could do back in 1869 with only Charles Dickens. The doctor chuckled, pulling out an ointment of some sort and sitting next to her. "Hair back up?" She pulled her hair off to the side, braiding it absently as the doctor began rubbing the ointment onto the welts. "But I like doing this, all the running, the exploring." She smiled at him. "I love it." The doctor smiled at her, then winced. "I almost didn't come back." Jessie cocked her head. "Why did you?" The doctor hesitated, then continued rubbing in the ointment. "I don't know," he admitted. "I really don't know. I never asked twice. But you are something different." "Is that good or bad?" "Oh, definitely good," the doctor assured her. "My violet and bronze demigod." Jessie couldn't help but flush a little at how he said he was his. "First time I've been called that. First time for everything." He screwed the ointment back on, and then he leaned back in his chair. "Like I live for the first time, I won't have to apologize for you getting hurt on something like this." "It's fine," she told him, grinning as she tied her braid off. "Really, it is." The doctor raised an eyebrow. "You just keep on surprising me." "Good," she grinned cheekily at him. "I love surprising others." Jack poked his head in. "What's this about surprising?" "I do," Jessie replied before the doctor could say anything. "Aw, come on, Doc," Jack said, grinning as he sat down in a chair as well. "She's surprising you?" The doctor rolled his eyes. "How much longer until Rex Coricophalos? I hate this name for the planet." "Not much longer," Jack replied. "Few minutes." "Right." The doctor looked between the two of them. "You two both try and decide on where to go after that." Jessie looked over at Jack and leaned over to whisper to him. "Japan?" she whispered. Jack nodded. "Kyoto?" Jessie smiled at him, then turned to the doctor. "Kyoto." He raised an eyebrow. "Japan?" "You choose the year," Jack told him. The doctor grinned. 1336. He stood and clapped his hands. "Kyoto, Japan in 1336. Let's go, Mutt and Jeff." "You still haven't told me who's who," Jessie barked as she ran after him. "Oh, Jack's definitely Mutt." "Hey!" Jack shouted, running after them. "You are paying for that, Doc." Jessie laughed happily and jumped onto the doctor's back as Jack bounded past them. The doctor yelped in shock, stumbling a little, and Jessie giggled, giving Jack a double thumbs up. "I've got him," she shouted, laughing as the doctor looked over his shoulder at her. "I got him." Jack burst out laughing, and eventually the doctor started doing it too. She jumped back off and hugged both of them tightly. She couldn't imagine a better life other than with these two. Chapter 20. Bad Wolf. The doctor fell out of a spinning cupboard with a groan, slowly to get up. "Oh my God," someone yelped as he saw a blonde woman in a white jacket run over. "I don't believe it. Why'd they put you in there? They never said you were coming." "What happened?" he managed to ask, accepting her help and standing up. "I was—" "Careful now," she told him as he stumbled a little. Oh, mind yourself. Oh, that's the Trazmat. It scrabbles your head. I was sick for days. All right?" "So what's your name then, sweetheart?" "The doctor, I think," he replied, still trying to get his bearings. "I was, I don't know. What happened? How—" "You got chosen," she simply said. "Chosen for what?" "You're a housemate. You're in the house. Isn't that brilliant?" "That's not fair," someone groaned, and the doctor looked up to see a man in a t-shirt glowering at him. We've got eviction in 5 minutes. I've been here for all 9 weeks. I've followed the rules. I've had a single warning, and then he comes swanning in. If they keep changing the rules, I'm going to protest. I am, a dark-skinned woman in pink brought up. You watch me. I'm going to paint the walls. Would the doctor please come to the diary room? The doctor looked up, hearing the voice, and obediently shuffling through the door, with a stylized eye on it, and sat down in a comfy chair. You're alive on channel 44,000. Please do not swear. The doctor raised an eyebrow in disbelief. You have got to be kidding. Jessie rolled her neck around, groaning as she woke up. What happened? She asked groggily. It's all right, a male voice replied, as she regained focus, and she saw a dark-skinned man bending over her. It's the transmat. Does your head in. Got a bit of amnesia. What's your name? Jessie, she replied, sitting up. But where's the doctor? Just remember, do what the android says. Don't provoke it. The android's word is law. What do you mean, android? She asked. It can't be a phone. A robot? Positions, everyone, a woman barked. Thank you. Come on, hurry up, the man told her, helping her stand. Steady, steady. She stumbled a little, leaning on him for support. I was traveling with the doctor and a man called Captain Jack. The doctor wouldn't just leave me. That's enough of chat, the floor manager told her. Positions, final call, good luck. I'm not supposed to be here. It says Jessie on the podium, the man told her, and she blinked when she did indeed see her name on the podium. Come on. Hold on, she said slowly, standing next to him, seeing his podium need Roderick. I'm going mad. This looks like... Android activated, the floor manager announced. Jessie blinked when the robot in front of them lit up. Oh my god, she gasped. Android. Android. Welcome to the weakest link, the android announced. I can't open it, the doctor muttered as he used the sonic screwdriver on the surroundings. It's got a deadlock seal, the blonde explained, watching him. Ever since Big Brother 504, when they all walked out. You must remember that. The doctor pointed to an alcove that had a picture in it. What about this? Oh, that's exoglass. You need a nuclear bomb to get through. The doctor snorted. Don't tempt me. If you're not supposed to talk... I know you're not supposed to talk about the outside world, she said hesitantly, but you must have been watching. Do people like me? He raised an eyebrow. Linda. Linda with a Y, not Linda with an I. She got forcibly evicted because she damaged the camera. Am I popular? I don't remember, he deflected. Oh, but does that mean I'm nothing? She whined. Some people get this far just because they're insignificant. Doesn't anybody notice me? No, the doctor tried to think of something. You're nice. You're sweet. Everyone thinks you're sweet. Oh, is that right? She asked, sounding excited. Is that what I am? Oh, no. Oh, no one's ever told me that before. Am I sweet? Really? Yeah, he replied. Dead sweet. Thank you. It's a wall, the doctor commented, knocking on the said structure. Isn't there supposed to be a garden out there or something? Don't be daft, Linda snorted. No one's got a garden anymore. Who's got a garden? Don't tell me you've got a garden. No, I've just got the TARDIS. He stopped short, memories flooding his mind. I remember! That's the amnesia, Linda told him, leaning on the counter towards him. So, what happened? Where did they get you? We just left Raxacorifallapatarus, he replied slowly. Then we went to Kyoto, he nodded, grinning as he remembered. That's right, Japan, in 1336, and we only just escaped. We were together, we were laughing, and then there was this white light coming through the walls, and then... He looked around. And then I woke up here. Yeah, that's the transmat beam, Linda explained. That's how they pick the housemates. Oh, Linda with a Y, the doctor sighed. Sweet little Linda. It's worse than that. I'm not just a passing traveler. No, stupid little transmat gets inside my ship. That beam was 15 million times more powerful. Which means this isn't just a game. There's something else going on. He approached one of the eyes on the walls. Well, here's the latest update from the Big Brother house. I'm getting out. I'm going to find my friends. He pointed at it. And then I'm going to find you. 19, 18, the floor manager began counting. 17, 16, 15. Thank you, people. Transmitting in 12, 11, 10. But I need to find the doc, Jessie began. Just shut up and play the game, Roderick hissed to her. 6, 7, 6. All right then, Jessie muttered. What the hell? I'll play to win. 3, and cue. Let's play the weakest link, the android declared. Start the clock. Argox, the name of which basic food stuff is an anagram of the word beard. Bread, Annex replied. Correct. Fitch, in the traffic calendar, which month comes after Hob? What the hell? Jessie wondered as the woman hesitantly answered. Is it Clavadode? No, Pandolf. The android turned to her. Jessie, in maths, what is 258 minus 158? Jessie blinked. 100, she said slowly. Correct. Jessie just kept blinking as the android turned to Roderick. Roderick. Bank, he told it. Which letters of the alphabet appears in the word dangle, but not in the word gland? E. Correct. Colleen, in Social Security, what D is the name of the payment given to Martian drones? Default. Correct. Broth, the greatest cobalt pyramid is built on the remains of which famous old Earth institute? Touchdown? No, Torchwood. Agrox, in language, all 5 examples of which type of letters appears in the word fastidious? Vowels. Correct. Fitch, in biology, what blood cells contain iron? Red or white? White. No, red. It was her turn again. Jessie, in the Holovoid series Jupiter Rising, the Grenix is married to whom? Jessie began laughing. How the hell should I know? No, the correct answer is Lord Drivoil. Good God Almighty, she muttered. There was one more round. Then came choosing the weakest linked, and of course the android chose Jessie. So, Jessie, what do you do exactly? I just travel around a bit, Jessie replied, shrugging. Bit of a tourist, I suppose. Another way of saying unemployed. She blinked. No. Have you got a job? Federal agent, but recently? Then you are unemployed, and yet you still got enough money to buy Paradox. Jessie looked at Roderick and mouthed, What? Why Fitch? Jessie choosed her lip. I think she got a few the question wrong. That's all. Oh, you don't know all about that. Jessie had gotten quite a few wrong, and she winced. Well, yeah, but I can't vote for myself, so it had to be Finch. That's the game. That's how it works. I had to vote for someone. Let me try again, Finch pleaded. It was the lights and everything. I couldn't think. In fact, with 3 answers wrong, Broth was the weakest link in that round. But it's the votes that count. I'm sorry, Fitch sobbed. Please, oh God, help me. Fitch, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Jessie watched in shock as a barrel emerged from the android's mouth, and a beam shot Finch, disintegrating her. Oh my God, Jessie gasped. And we've gone to the adverts. Back in 3 minutes, the floor manager announced. Jessie turned to Roderick. What was that? She demanded. What just happened? She was the weakest link. She gets disintegrated, he replied. Blasted into atoms. But I voted for her, Jessie whispered. Oh my, she shook her head, looking around at everything. This is sick. All of you. You're just sick. I'm not playing this. I'm not playing, Broth shouted. I can't do it. I'm not. Please, somebody let me out of here. You are the weakest link, the android replied. Jessie watched Broth run across the studio floor, her eyes widening as the android shot Broth as well. Goodbye. Don't try to escape, Roderick told her darkly. It's play or die. Jessie choked down a sob, putting a hand over her mouth. God, where am I? Doctor? The doctor looked over his shoulder at Linda and the other 2 housemates, Strahd and Crosby, who were sitting on the sofa. They said all the housemates must gather on the sofa. You got to. I'm busy getting out of here, thanks, he retorted. But if you don't obey, then all the housemates get punished. Well, maybe I'll be voted out then, the doctor said lightly, but he joined them. How stupid are you? Strahd asked a little angrily. You've only just joined. You're not eligible. Don't try anything clever, or we'll all get it in the neck, Linda warned. Big Brother House, a man's voice announced. This is Davana Droid. Crosby, Linda, and Strode, you have all been nominated for eviction, and the 8th person to be evicted from the Big Brother house is... The doctor sat back, bored, waiting for the name. Crosby. The dark-skinned hairs woman's face turned to horror. Linda began crying. I'm sorry, she hugged the woman. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. It should have been me, Strode put in. Oh, that's not fair, Crosby, love. Crosby, you have 10 seconds to make your farewells, and then we are going to get you, the voice said. I won't forget you, Linda told her. I'm sorry I stole your soap, Crosby managed to say as the 3 of them stood. I don't mind, honestly. Thanks for the food, Strode added. You're a smashing cook. Bless you. Crosby, please leave the Big Brother house. Bye then. Bye, Linda, Crosby whispered as a door to the short white corridor opened. Bye, Linda replied. The doctor watched Linda and Stride make an arch, and Crosby walked through. As the door closed, Linda held a hand over her mouth, tears in her eyes. I don't believe it, she whispered. Crosby. It's only a game show, the doctor told them, not understanding why they were so upset. She'll make a fortune on the outside, sell her story, release a record, fitness video, all of that. She'll be laughing. What do you mean on the outside? Linda asked, confused. Here we go, Strode said tightly. They both rejoined the doctor on the sofa, and the doctor leaned back confused, seeing Crosby still standing there. What are they waiting for? He asked. Why don't they just let her go? Stop it, Linda demanded, and he looked at her in shock. It's not funny. Eviction in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The doctor sat up upright when a beam from the ceiling shot Crosby, and she disappeared in a puff of smoke. What was that? He demanded. Disintegrator beam, Strode replied. She's been evicted, Linda put in. From life. Are you insane? The doctor asked, standing. You just stepped right into the disintegrator? Is it that important, getting your face out on the telly? Is it worth dying for? You're talking like we've got a choice. The doctor stopped, now thoroughly confused. But I thought you had to apply. Don't be stupid, Strode snorted. That's how they played it in centuries back. You get chosen whether you like it or not, Linda explained. Everyone on Earth is a potential contestant. The transmat beam picks you out at random. It's non-stop. There are 60 Big Brother houses running all at once. The doctor blinked. How many? 60. Strode nodded. They had to cut back. It's not what it was. It's a charnel house, the doctor turned to them. What about the winners? What do they get? They get to live, Linda replied simply. Is that it? Well, isn't that enough? She asked incredulously. Jess is out there, the doctor told them, narrowing his eyes. She got caught in the transmat. She's a contestant, and she could die. He stood up, began to pace as his adrenaline began to pump with thoughts of Jessie dying. That's not going to happen. He turned back to the two of them. That other contestant, Linda with an I. She was forcibly evicted for what? Damage to property, Linda replied. The doctor raised an eyebrow. What, like this? He pointed his sonic screwdriver at a camera. He watched in satisfaction as it exploded. I'm going to get you, Jess. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Jessie winced as Colleen was the next to be disintegrated. Going to break, the floor manager called out. 2 minutes on the clock. Just a reminder, we've got solar flares activity coming up in 10. Thanks, everyone. Colleen was clever, Jessie told Roderick as they stepped off. She banked all our money, and you voted her. Why? Because I wanted to keep you in, Roderick replied, and she blinked. You're stupid. Hey, she protested. You didn't even know the Princess Vossarian's surname. Still don't know who in Odin's name she is, she thought with a snort. When it comes to the final, I want to be up against you, so that you get disintegrated, and I get a stack load of credits, courtesy of the Bad Wolf Corporation. She turned to him in shock. What do you mean? She demanded. Who's Bad Wolf? They're in charge. They run the game station. Why are they called Bad Wolf? She pressed, adrenaline beginning to run. I don't know. It's just a name. It's like an old Earth nursery rhyme of some sort of thing. What does it matter? Jessie turned back towards the android. I keep hearing these words everywhere we go. Bad Wolf. The things you've seen, the darkness, the big Bad Wolf. Attention all personnel. Bad Wolf 1 descending. Baldo Dweck. What's it mean? Bad Wolf. Different times and different places, Jessie murmured. It's like it's written all over the universe. What are you going on about? Rick demanded. She grinned at him. If Bad Wolf is in charge of this quiz, then maybe I'm not here by mistake. She looked up at the words, now more sure than ever. Someone's been planning this. The doctor, you've broken the house rules. Big Brother has no choice but to evict you. You have 10 seconds to make your farewells, and then we're going to get you. That's more like it, the doctor said happily, fidgeting by the door. Come on then, open up. You're mad, Linda declared, looking at him in shock. It's like you want to die. I reckon he's a plant, Strode said. He's only brought in to stir things up. The doctor, please leave the Big Brother house. The doctor walked into the corridor, and grinning and looking around. Come on then, disintegrate me, he shouted. Come on, what are you waiting for? Eviction in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The doctor grinned when nothing happened. Aha! He cried gleefully. I knew it! You see, someone brought me into this game. If they'd wanted me dead, they could have transmitted me into a volcano. Maybe security isn't as right this end, he added, opening the door to the other side of the corridor. He looked up at a camera. Are you following this? I'm getting out. He thought for a second, then looked back at Linda, opening the door back to the house he'd been in. Come with me, he offered. We're not allowed, Strode shouted. Stay in there. You've got a 50-50 chance of disintegration, the doctor told Linda, who was looking back and forth between them. Stay with me. I'll promise I'll get you out alive. Come on. She swallowed, shaking her head. No, I can't. I can't. Linda, he told her gently, you're sweet. From what I've seen of your world, do you think anyone votes for sweet? He held out his hand, and he gave her a small smile as she took it. When they ran the other way, the doctor stopped in surprise. Hold on, I've been here before. He looked around. This is Satellite 5, no guards. That makes a change. You think a big business like Satellite 5 would be armed to the teeth. No one's called it Satellite 5 in ages, Linda told him. It's the game station now. Hasn't been Satellite 5 in 100 years. 100 years exactly, the doctor agreed, still looking around. It's the year 200100. I was here before. Floor 139. The satellites were broadcasting news channels back then. Had a bit of trouble upstairs. Nothing too serious. Easy. Gave them a hand. Home in time for tea. She gasped out at him. 100 years ago? What? You were here 100 years ago? Yep. You're looking good on it. The doctor nodded. I moisturized. He used a sonic screwdriver on a panel. Funny sorts of reading, all kinds of energy. This place is humming. It's weird. This goes way beyond normal transmissions. What would they need all their power for? I don't know, Linda admitted. I think we're the first ever contestants to get outside. The doctor looked at her. I have 2 friends traveling with me. They've gotten caught in the same transmat. Where would they be? I don't know. They could have been allocated anywhere. There's 100 different games. Like what? He pressed. Well, she began slowly thinking. There's 10 floors of Big Brother. There's a different house behind each of those doors. And then beyond that, there's all sorts of shows. It's nonstop. There's Call My Bluff with real guns. Countdown, where you've got 30 seconds to stop the bomb going off. Ground Force, which is a nasty one. She wrinkled her nose. You get turned into compost. Wipeout. Speaks for itself. Oh, and stars in their eyes. Literally, stars in their eyes. If you don't sing, you get blinded. And you watch this stuff? The doctor asked in disbelief. Everyone does, Linda replied defensively. How come you don't? He shrugged. Never paid for my license. Her jaw dropped. Oh my God, you get executed for that. Oh, let them try, he growled. You keep saying things that don't make sense. Who are you, though, doctor? Really? It doesn't matter. Well, it does to me, she retorted. I've just put my life in your hands. I'm just a traveler, wandering past. Believe it or not, all I'm after is a quiet life. So, if we get out of here, what are you going to do next? Just wander off again? He nodded. Fast as I can. She hesitated. Can I come with you? The doctor considered. Maybe you could. I won't get in the way. He began nodding. I wouldn't mind if you did. Not a bad idea, Linda with a Y. He turned around. But first of all, we've got to concentrate on the getting out. And to do that, you've got to know your enemy. Who's controlling it? Who's in charge of the satellite now? Linda ran over to a light breaker. Hold on. She flipped it, and the doctor looked up as the sign lit up. His jaw dropped as Linda looked over at him. Your lords and master. Bad Wolf Corporation. Sure, Jack hadn't minded being on what not to wear. He'd actually been enjoying it. Before one of those androids had tried to deface him. Literally. He fiddled with the defabricator. It did exactly what it sounded like, and kept on talking. Compatible systems, just align with the wave signature, he grinned. Attaboy, got myself a gun. He cocked it expertly, then looked down at the 2 droids now disintegrated. Well, ladies, the pleasure was all mine, which is the only thing that mattered in the end. He ran out of the room, barely taking notice of the floor 299, as he called the lift, looking at his watch. 2 hearts, that's him. Which floor? Linda's jaw dropped as they made it to the observation deck. Blimey, I've never seen it for real before. Not from orbit, planet Earth. The doctor blinked. What happened to it? Well, it's always been like that, ever since I was born. See that there? She pointed over to the planet. That's the Great Atlantic Smog Storm. It's been going on 20 years. We get news flashes telling us when it's safe to breathe outside. He looked at her in disbelief. So the pollution just sits there? Half the world's too fat and half the world's too think, and you lot just watch telly? 10,000 channels, all beaming down from here. The human race, he muttered. Brainless sheep being fed on a diet of... He cut off, getting distracted. Mind you, have you 3 still got the program where you people have of Life with a Bear? Linda grinned. Oh, Bear with Me. I love that one. And me, the celebrity edition where the bear got in the bath. Linda blinked. Got in the bath? She repeated. But it's all gone wrong. I mean, history's gone wrong. Again. They should be the fourth great and bountiful human empire. I don't understand, he murmured. Last time I was here, I put it right. No, but that's when it first went wrong, Linda told him. 100 years ago. Like you said, all the news channels, they just shut down overnight. But that was me. I did that. There was nothing left in their place, she explained. No information. The whole planet just froze. The government, the economy, they collapsed. That was the start of it. 100 years of hell. Oh my God, the doctor whispered, looking back down at the earth. I made this world. Jessie took a deep breath as Agorix was disintegrated, leaving her with Roderick, fighting for her life on a game show of all things. That leaves Jessie and Roderick, the android said. You're going head to head. Let's play The Wink is Linked. Right, and that's the end of the tactical voting, Roderick told her. You're on your own now. Jessie swallowed. Doctor, where are you? She whispered. Hey, handsome, a familiar voice called, and the doctor turned in shock as Jack bounded out of the lift. Good to see you, he grinned and hugged the former time agent, deciding not to comment on the huge gun he carries. Any sign of Jessie? The doctor pulled away abruptly, hearts freezing. Can't you track her down? She must still be in the games, Jack said, his face paling a little. All the rooms are shielded. If I can just get inside this computer, he muttered, working at the console. She's got to be here somewhere. Well, you'd better hurry up. These games don't have a happy ending. The doctor threw a nasty look over his shoulder. Do you think I don't know that? There you go, Jack told him, handing over his wrist computer. Patch that in. It's programmed to find her. The doctor nodded, going back to work. Thanks. He worked for a while, then sighed as Jack said, Hey there. Hello, Linda replied. Captain Jack Harness. Linda Moss. Nice to meet you, Linda Moss. Of all the times and places, he thought in annoyance, snorting. Do you mind flirting outside? He asked. I was just saying hello, Jack protested. For you? That's flirting, the doctor countered. I'm not complaining, Linda interrupted. Jack grinned at her. Muchas gracias, he told her, kissing her hand. The doctor groaned. It's not compatible. This stupid system doesn't make sense. He kicked the console in annoyance as Jack took the plate. This plate should be a basic broadcaster, but the systems are twice as complicated. It's more than just television. This station's transmitting something else. Like what? Jack asked as they worked. I don't know, the doctor admitted. This whole bad wolf thing's tied up with me. Someone's manipulated my entire life. It's some sort of trap, he growled, his fury rising. And Jess is stuck inside it. Jessie, in geography, the Grand Central Ravine is named after which ancient British city? She winced. Is it York? She guessed. No, the correct answer is Sheffield. Jessie cursed in her head. Found her, the doctor announced. Floor 407. Oh my God, Linda gasped as they got into the lift, and the doctor turned to her, his fear rising as her face pales. She's with the android. You've got to get her out of there. Roderick, in literature, the author of Luck was Jackie who? Stewart, he replied. No, the android denied. The correct answer is Collins. Jessie, the oldest inhabitant of the Ice-Up Galaxy, is the face of what? She grinned, happy. She knew this one. Bo, she cried. She grinned at Roderick's surprised look. The face of Bo. That is the correct answer. Roderick, in history, who was the president of the Red Velvets? Hospen, France. That is the correct answer. Jessie, in food, the dish Kaffa Bank originated in which planet? What a cue? She wondered. Mars? She squeaked. No, the correct answer is Lucifer. Roderick, which measurement is said to have defined by the Emperor Jade as the distance from his nose to his fingertips? Would that be a Goffel? No, the correct answer is Pab. Jessie, in fashion, Stella Porkbane is famous for what? Shoes. No, the correct answer is hats. The doctor ran out of the lift, looking around. Game room 6, he shouted to the others as they began running around as well. Which one is it? Linda waved. Over here! She practically pounded on the console, and Jack hefted the huge gun he held. Stand back, he told her. Let me blast it open. You can't, the doctor replied, his adrenaline running high as he worked on the lock. It's made of combination. Come on, come on, come on! Roderick, in physics, who discovered the 15-10 Broderick field? San Helsing. No, the correct answer is San Chen. Jesse, in history, which Icelandic city hosted Murder Spree 20? Reykjavik, she guessed. No, the correct answer is Bonaventura. She closed her eyes as Roderick turned to her in triumph. Oh my God, I've done it, he cheered. You've lost. I'm not meant to be here, she snapped, backing away from the podium. I need to find the doctor. He's got to be here somewhere. He's always here. He wouldn't just leave me. Roderick, you are the strongest link, the android announced. You'll be transported home with 1,600 credits. Oh, thank you, Roderick replied, grinning like an idiot. Thank you so much. This game is illegal, Jessie insisted, backing away further as the android turned to her. I'm telling you to stop. Jessie! She nearly collapsed in relief when she heard the doctor shout her name. Stop this game. Jessie, you leave this life with nothing, the android told her. She took that as her cue to dodge through people who kept trying to stop her from running. Stop this game, Jack shouted. I order you to stop this game, the doctor yelled as well. Both of them trying to reach her. You are the weakest link. Jessie promptly phased through the people trying to keep her from her friends, and she took off sprinting as fast as she could. The android, she shouted as she ran, hearing the gun powering up behind her. It's armed. She heard the doctor shout her name, but all over. She heard the android take its shot. She screamed once the beam hit her. And then, nothing. A talking doctor, when he was mad, made Jack already know not to mess with him. A quiet doctor who had just seen Jessie be disintegrated in front of him scared Jack to hell. Oh yes, Jack was ticked with that the android had killed Jessie. He wanted to wring the other guy's neck, and he would have fought tooth and nail to disintegrate the droid as well. Linda didn't even know Jessie, and even she was crying a little. The doctor, on the other hand? The Daleks called him the oncoming storm, Jessie had told him once. The one thing is, they're ultimately afraid of. I've seen the oncoming storm before, and each time was because someone he cared about was in danger. What if one of those was us, and we were killed? Jack had asked. Jessie hadn't replied for a while, but when she had sounded nothing like the trooper she acted like. She sounded like an innocent little girl. I don't know what could stop him from tearing an entire civilization apart if that meant he could get one of us back, or if we were avenged. Jack knew that once they got out of their little jail cell, the oncoming storm would tear the GIM station apart. You will be taken from this place to the lunar Panel colony, there to be held without trial, one of the guards told them, and Jack and Linda looked at each other in exasperation. The doctor said nothing, brooding silently. You may not appeal against this sentence. Is that understood? The doctor still had said nothing. Then, when another guard unlocked the cell, he turned to Jack. 3 words was all it took to get him going. Let's do it. Jack stood instantly and kicked one guard in the back, wrestling with him to drop his weapon. The other guard went for the doctor, who simply grabbed his arm and slammed him straight into the wall, bones cracking with the force of the oncoming storm. Jack tossed him his sonic screwdriver, and Linda grabbed the 2 guards' guns. The doctor took one of them, as Jack took the defibrillator. As they got into the lift, Jack saw for the first time the doctor's rage beginning to take over. Floor 500, he growled. For Jessie, Jack offered. For Jessie, Linda confirmed. The doctor nodded. For Jessie. Okay, Jack shouted when the lift arrived and the 3 walked out, weapons pointed at the controllers. Move away from the desk. Nobody try anything clever. Everybody clear. He pointed the guns at all of them as they all scooted away. Stand to the side and stay there. Who's in charge of this place? The doctor demanded. 19, 18. He looked up to see a woman hooked up by wires to her hair, looking dazedly off, as if she was being controlled. This satellite's more than a game station. 79, 80. Who killed Jessie Nightshade? He finally snapped in anger. All staff are reminded that solar flares. I want an answer, he shouted. Occur in Delta Point 1. She can't reply, the head controller said. The doctor turned to him. The man paled and raised his hands. Don't shoot. The doctor rolled his eyes. Oh, don't be so thick, like I was ever going to shoot. He tossed the gun to him carelessly, then turned to Jack. Captain, we've got more guards on the way. Secure the exits. Jack nodded, looking relieved to be doing something. Yes, sir. The doctor pointed to the head controller. You, what were you saying? But I've got your gun. The doctor rolled his eyes. Okay, so shoot me. Why can't she answer? He lifted the gun. Can I put this down? The doctor huffed in annoyance. If you want, just hurry up. Thanks. He quickly deposited the gun down onto a chair. Sorry, the controller is linked to the transmissions. The entire output goes through her brain. You're not a member of the staff, so she doesn't recognize your existence. What's her name? I don't know. She was installed when she was 5 years old. That's the only life she's ever known. Jack ran back up. Doors sealed. We should be safe for about 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them, the doctor ordered. But that stuff you were saying about going on with the game station, the head controller told them. I think you're right. I've kept a log. Unauthorized transmits, encrypted signals. It's been going on for years. Show me, the doctor told him. As they went to the console, he heard Jack try to access someplace. You're not allowed in there, one of the women told him. Archive 6 is out of bounds. Do I look like an out-of-bounds sort of guy? Jack retorted. And the doctor cracked a small grin. He heard the doors open, and he faintly heard Jack shout, What the hell? Solar flare activity in Delta .015, the controller announced. If you're not holding us hostage, the woman told him, then open the door and let us out. The staff are terrified. He glared at her. That's the same staff who executed hundreds of contestants every day. That's not our fault. We're just doing our jobs. He stood up and glared at her with enough force to make her jerk backwards. My friend, who lived to work for her country, just died in one of your games today, he told her lowly. I might have even gone far enough to say she was more than a friend. With that sentence, you just lost the right to even talk to me. Back off. She stumbled backwards, and the doctor turned back to the head controller, looking up when the power flickered. That's just the solar flares, the man exclaimed. They interfere with the broadcast signal, so this place automatically powers down. Planet Earth gets a few repeats. It's all quite normal. Doctor. He didn't acknowledge the voice until the woman tapped his shoulder. Doctor? Whatever it is, you can wait, he snapped. I think she wants you. He looked up to see the controller looking around dazedly. Doctor? She asked again as he approached. Doctor. Where's the doctor? I'm here, he replied. Can't see. I'm blind. So blind. All my life blind. All I can see is numbers. But I saw you. What do you want? He asked bitterly. Solar flare's hiding me. They can't hear me. My masters. They always listen. But they can't hear me now. The sun is so bright. Who are your masters? They wired my head. The name's forbidden. They control my thoughts. My masters. I had to be careful. They monitor transmissions, but they don't watch the programs. I could hide you inside the games. Knew that you would find me. My friend died inside your games, the doctor snapped. Doesn't matter. He growled angrily. Don't you dare tell me that. They've been hiding, my masters hiding in the dark space, watching and shaping the earth so many years. Always been there, guiding humanity. Hundreds and hundreds of years. Who are they? The doctor demanded. They wait and plan and grow in numbers. They're strong now. So strong, my masters. Who are they? He repeated. The controller kept on talking faster. But speak of you, my masters. They fear the doctor. Tell me, he demanded. Who are they? Just my luck, he thought bitterly as the power returned. 21, 22, the controller began counting. When's the next solar fair? He asked. 2 years' time, the head controller replied. The doctor growled low in his throat. Fat lot of good that is. Jack returned, a slight skip in his step. Found the TARDIS, he announced. We're not leaving now, the doctor told him. No, but the TARDIS worked it out. The doctor raised an eyebrow at the captain curiously. You'll want to watch this. Linda, could you stand over here for me, please? I just want to go home, the girl whispered, even as she did what Jack said. It'll only take a second, he assured her. Could you stand in that spot quick as you can? Everybody watching? He double-checked. Okay. He stood over a button. 3, 2, 1. With a push of a button, a beam came down and made Linda vanish. The doctor turned on Jack in shock. But you killed her. Oh, do you think? He retorted, pressing the button again. And Linda came back. She stumbled, looking around in shock. What the hell was that? She finally asked. It's a transmat beam, Jack replied gleefully, and the doctor began to grin in understanding. Not a disintegrator, a secondary transmat system. People don't get killed in the game. They get transported across space. He turned to the doctor, grinning widely as well. Doctor, Jessie is still alive. Jessie rolled her head, groaning softly as she came to. She froze. The weakest link, the doctor and Jack, android, should be dead. She sat up when she heard a familiar humming. She slowly turned, and she let out a piercing scream at what was approaching her. You're dead, she screeched, backing up quickly. You're dead! I saw you die! She's out there somewhere, the doctor muttered, working fiercely. Doctor, the controller whispered, and he looked up at her sharply. Coordinates 5.6.1. Don't, he told her. The solar flare's gone. They'll hear you. .434, she continued in a strained voice. No, my masters, no, I defy you. Stigma 7, she screamed, then vanished in a puff of smoke. The doctor sighed as they began punching in the coordinates. They took her. Look, use that, the head controller told him. It might contain the final numbers. I keep a log of all the unscheduled transmissions. Nice, thanks, Jack told him before looking at him appraisingly. Captain Jack Connors, by the way. I'm David Pavel. Nice to meet you, David Pavel. There's a time and a place, the doctor muttered. Are you saying this entire setup's been a disguise all along? The woman asked. The doctor nodded, going way back, installing the Jagafras 100 years ago. Someone's been playing a long game, controlling the human race from behind the scenes for generations. Click on this, Jack told him. The transmitter delivers to that point, right on the edge of the solar system, which was, of course, blank space. There's nothing there, the woman said. It looks like nothing because there was this satellite. That's what this satellite does, the doctor told her. Underneath the transmission, there's another signal. Doing what? Pavel asked. Hiding whatever's out there, the doctor replied. Hiding it from sonar, radar, scanner. There's something sitting right on the top of the planet Earth, and it's completely invisible. If I can cancel this signal... He worked at the console, then blinked when a flying saucer flew past. No, he thought, a sinking feeling growing as the screen zoomed out to reveal several more. That's impossible, Jack whispered. I know those ships. They were destroyed. Obviously they survived, the doctor replied. Jess was sent to her death again. Who did? Linda asked, looking over their shoulders. Who are they? 200 ships, the doctor replied hollowly. More than 2,000 on board each one. It's just about half a million of them. Half a million of what? Pavel asked. The doctor swallowed. Daleks. Alert! Alert! One of the Daleks began screeching. We are detected. It is the doctor, another one put in. He has located us. Open communications channel. The female will stand. The Dalek turned to Jessie, and she swallowed down her fear. Stand, it ordered. Slowly, she did, and the Daleks surrounded her as a hollow screen popped up, and Jessie sucked in her breath when she saw the doctor, Jack, the girl they had been with, and a few other controllers standing over a console. I will talk to the doctor, the Dalek next to her announced. He looked up. Oh, will you? He asked sarcastically. That's nice, he waved. Hello. She couldn't help but grin a little. The Dalek stratagem nears completion, the doctor informed him. The fleet is almost ready. You will not intervene. Oh, really? The doctor folded his arms. Why is that, then? We have your associate, Jessie gave a small wave and a weak smile as the Daleks all turned to her. You will obey, or she will be exterminated. No. Jessie's jaw dropped as he spoke that one word with enough fury that would make S.H.I.E.L.D. obey him at once. Explain yourself, the Dalek demanded. I said no, he repeated. What is the meaning of this negative? It means no, the doctor deadpanned. She gave him a smile as the Daleks tried to recover. But she will be destroyed. No, he snapped, glaring at the Daleks, because this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rescue her. She smiled as she saw the oncoming storm begin to come out, all keen on keeping her safe. I'm going to save Jessie Nightshade from the middle of that Dalek fleet.
Explain?
You missed that spot. I'm sorry.
I was walking up the stairs at the same time.
I'm going to save Jessie Nightshade from the middle of the Dalek fleet, and then I'm going to save the Earth, and then, just to finish off, I'm going to wipe every last stinking Dalek out of the sky. But you have no weapons, the doctor replied. No defenses, no plan. Yeah, and doesn't that scare you to death? The doctor growled before looking at her. Jessie? She swallowed. Yes, doctor? I'm coming to get you. She let out a whoop of encouragement as the transmission ended from his side. The doctor is initiating hostile action, the Dalek announced. The stratagem must advance. Begin the invasion of Earth, another Dalek ordered. The doctor will be exterminated. Jessie looked around as the other Daleks took up the cry. Exterminate! Exterminate! May the war for Earth commence, she thought as she waited for the doctor to come. Okay, so that was 19 and 20. Alrighty, peace out, Knights.